Our 2022 tour of Living in the Lone Star Holiday Homes is a wrap. We took you to 5 different displays, all with a little something special. Hi there, I'm digital anchor Brandy Smith. In addition to live shots for the 411 and KHU 11 News at 5 and 6, we did extended tours on our digital channels. So in this KHU 11 Plus special, we're bringing those back. Plus, we are highlighting all the holiday homes our viewers sent in, about 150 of them. If you submitted a display, keep an eye out. Let's start things off in Rosharon.
This is the Duke family Christmas. More than 68,000 lights. You'll notice 3 different trees. We're gonna bring in Kevin and Vicky to talk a little bit about this display. Just an incredible thing that you guys started 22 years ago. What did it look like back then?
Back then, it was just a plastic reindeer, a plastic Santa Claus, and 4 candy canes.
I'm like, if I recall, it's that Santa up in the window, right?
Yes, as part of this display, we brought back our, what we call our legacy or our beginnings. We wanted to pay homage to those things that we first started off when we were first married, didn't have a whole lot of money. That's what we put out, and now it's evolved to this.
You spent a little more money on it over those 22 years. Tell me about the budget that you guys have every year going in.
We have a budget of about $1,000 a year for upgrades, for repairs, for new items that we decide to put into the show.
And that's, you guys do about 1 item a year is the rule. What was the new item this year?
This year, we decided to add a little color to the house. So we've added floodlights to the house to give it maybe some reds and blues, whatever we want to add. It also will simulate this tree with the different colors. It can go 256 different colors on the floods as well. So it's a small upgrade this year, but at least it's one thing. Sometimes when we upgrade, it can be very small or it can be very large like this tree.
Vicki, I know I just asked you this at 6 o'clock. There it goes. This tree is sort of your brainchild. You get to program it. What is that? It's got to be a fun, creative outlet.
It is very fun for me. I get to show my creative side that nobody sees.
Yeah. What does it take to program it? Like what are the options?
I can make the tree have hearts. I can have it stars. It can have fireworks. It can look like lightning. It can look like a meteor shower. I can donate to St. Jude's or Lutheran Church Charities. I can put those things in there and it'll scroll through however long I tell it to run that program.
You mentioned St. Jude's and Lutheran Church Charities. Yes. December 17th, you guys are doing a big event. What's happening December 17th?
We are having a community event that we want everybody to come out and support the Lutheran Church Charities Canine Comfort Dogs who have been here for our community, been to Uvalde for the school shootings, been to El Paso for the Walmart shooting, been to Pulse in Florida. They've been all over the United States. And this is our chance to show them our support and thank them for the work that they do. And they can also get free pictures with Santa Claus.
And we have Santa's hanging out over on his chair over here right now. We have candy canes out, and this is kind of what you guys do on Fridays, Saturdays, right?
Yes, every Friday and Saturday we give out free candy canes to anybody who wants to come by. If they want to ask questions about the show, then I will sit there and talk with them. I'll walk them through the show, what we do, and make everybody feel like this is not just our show, it's everybody's show.
I loved what you told me a little bit earlier about you asked your neighbor across this way why he didn't go all out for Christmas. What was his answer?
He said, why do I need to decorate when he can walk outside and get a 2nd-degree burn by just the lights over here? So, you know, he enjoys just coming out, looking at the lights. He's had enough lights, he'll go back inside.
Gotcha. All of the figurines here, those you didn't build yourself. But the other structures you guys work on?
Yes, we have hand built almost every structure here except for the creatures.
What kind of time does that take? Actually, just going through the lights every year, what is it in October when you pull everything out? How much time are you spending going through 68,000 lights to make sure that they're all on?
Countless hours. Really countless. I haven't counted the hours. I know it takes us at least a full month of going through the lights, at least 8 hours on a Saturday and a Sunday, 2 to 3 hours Monday through Friday when we get home from work. It's a lot.
A lot of work, but when you see the response like this, when you see the light in kids' eyes, it doesn't even have to be kids, adults driving by and seeing this. How does that make you feel?
Well, the reason we do that is because of the kids. Our kids are grown. It's just us now. You know, anytime we do this, we may bump ourselves, we may shock ourselves in the yard. You know, there's all kinds of things we'll do. And every year we're like, okay, is this the last year? But the first time we see a smile on a kid's face when they see the show, we forget all about that, and it's all about the kids.
Let's talk to some of these kids right now. All right, I'm gonna go one by one. Do you guys want to tell me what you got in one word? Give me one word to describe what you think of this Christmas display. Do you want to go first, Gigi? Okay, what's one word to describe this?
Great.
That's a great word.
Fantastic. Awesome. Delighted. Fabulous.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
You know what? I think that really sums it up right there. Did you guys want to say a word? Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Superior, I guess.
All right. I'm just gonna keep moving through here. Do you want to say a word? How you think the lights are? You can say it.
There.
There you go. All right. You went. Do you want to say a word to describe the lights?
Christmassy.
They are Christmassy. That's great. What about you? Do you wanna...
They're very colorful.
They are.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Awesome. I already said something.
Oh, sorry.
Expensive.
Yeah, we know that's true. All right. Was there anyone else who wanted to add something? Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. It's enough for 2 words. Very cool. Did you guys want to describe the lights? I see. What word would you use to describe the lights?
Merry Christmas.
Yes. Did you have one?
Amazing.
Amazing. Do you guys want to try?
They're colorful.
They are. No. You know what? That's truly what this display is. Like, it will wipe out all of the words that you have. Colorful, great, awesome, Christmassy, all of the above. What was it? But 68,000 lights. I'm coming back over here. 68,000 lights. There are more than 6,000 per tree over here. We talked about the trees at 5 o'clock, but let's cover it again for people who are just joining us. There are 3 different trees for a specific reason. What does each stand for?
We built the 3 trees to represent the 3 levels of building in the show. When people first start out and they want to do a show like this, or even a static display, they'll always start off with a cone tree, and that is our very far tree. It's got regular incandescent lights on it. You basically put up a pole, something to hook the lights with, and you bring it down to the ground and you stake it to the ground. The second tree...
Here, hold on. I just want to shout out to Eric, who's doing the best he can right now. Eric's behind the camera, trying to show us around. We also have a drone up. I don't know what's going at any given time, so we're just rolling with it. Okay, sure. Second tree.
The second tree is a middle level tree. It has a base to it to simulate a trunk. It has LED lights on it, so it's the second upgrade. And then we have the pixel tree, which is the latest technology that every bulb can turn 256 different colors, and we can do unlimited possibilities with that tree.
This all started, the fundraising part of it, because you are a cancer survivor. And you guys have a donation bin out here. Tell me about the evolution of that.
We started off with MD Anderson, and we did that for about 7 years. And I told my husband one day, I said, why don't we switch to St. Jude's? Because without the children, we have no future.
And you can donate. What is your website?
It is DukeFamilyChristmas.com, or they can go here locally and St. Jude picks up the donations here.
Because you guys have a direct link on DukeFamilyChristmas.com that'll take you right to the St. Jude's website if you want to donate. I'm trying to think. What other questions do you guys have for the brains of this operation? Do you guys have any questions for them about all the work they did? Oh, well, they have a budget of $1,000 a year, and they've been doing it for 22 years. So is 22,000 probably on the low end, right?
Yeah, it's pretty low. Yeah, so 22,000 is probably on the low end. We're probably now at about 30,000.
I do have to ask about the power bill, because I look at this and just think, oh my goodness, I don't know if I could keep up.
Power bill is actually not bad because this show runs 6 to 10 on weekdays. Friday and Saturdays it runs 6 to 11. They're blinking on and off. So the power bill runs about $25 more when the lights are running in December. So it's actually not bad.
The energy ogre is back there. Yeah, he's got answers if you have any questions. Any other questions over here? Oh,
How long does it take to put up everything?
Ooh, you know what? That's it. How long does it take? We talked about this at 4 o'clock, but I don't think we've covered it yet. When do you guys start the process for this?
The actual install, we start at the first week of November to put this thing up. It takes 3 weeks for us to actually put this show up because we can only do it on weekends or when we have time or when my wife lets me on the ladder and not fall off the ladder.
I mean, it's worth noting you guys both have full-time jobs.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So we can't do this. If we did this full time, we could get it done in a few days. But as the show has grown, so is the length of time. So right now we're at 3 weeks to put everything up.
Because I was trying to count earlier, there are dozens of items in your yard. Do you guys have a final tally on like how many individual trees, arches?
We actually do, because we have a printout of everything that's in our yard, a total inventory in our yard. So, I mean, from the 3 trees to 32 mini trees to 8 main towers to 4 ring towers, I mean, and then the creatures. 12 mini arches, and the driveway arches, there's 5 driveway arches. It keeps going.
Absolutely amazing. Any other questions, guys? Oh, yeah.
How much lights do you have every year and all combined every year?
How many lights do you have?
68,000 and growing. So right now we stopped counting at 68,000. So because now we're getting into the new technology, and because the new technology can turn all kinds of different colors, you really can't count 256 times 1,600. So it just keeps growing.
One thing you can count though. Oh. Yes, go ahead.
When did they buy all these lights?
How long has it taken you to build all these up and buy them all?
22 years and counting. So.
But also worth noting, they built a lot of this stuff. So the tree they made, they made this, they made the little trees down there, they made that tree over there, they made the arches, they made these poles, they built them.
They built everything?
They did, yeah.
Everything except for the creek room.
And I will say, Brandy, one of the things that we took in mind was the child's point of view when you go through this show. An adult is so much taller, so when they walk through the show, they just see the lights going on and off. But a child, when they're here on the sidewalk, the reason we have some lights on this side and lights on this side is when they walk through this show, they feel immersed inside the show.
Amazing.
from beautiful Pin Oak Village in Katy. We are at Christmas Katy, the creation of J.D. Shuck. This has been an evolution. You guys did your first display in 2004, right?
Right, just static display.
And these trees, well, a different version of these trees, inspired you to do something more.
Right, a guy named Carson Williams had the first synchronized light show in 2004 that he started, and he had a similar shape of 15 trees, and this pretty much got me hooked on it, and the evolution of going from just all white trees to now I've got these layered in different sequence. I inverted it from 5 to 1 to 1 to 5. I changed the direction that he did, but that was pretty much what happened.
And that's not your only tribute. You have a tribute to another light pioneer as well.
Right. The first guy named Marty Flack was the guy who invented what we call the Marty fan. And the arch you see there with the different spokes.
It's not lit up right now, but it will be. It will be.
He came up with that idea, and it's grown here because now I'm using all smart lights. I'm using pixels, but the same premise that he inspired back then. And then these are called leaping arches down below, which again, somebody came up with another idea to try to address it. We went into the leaping arches, and so these can dance back and left and right. That's why we call them leaping arches.
I feel like it's really important to point out that you built all of this.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't something you just went down to, like, say, Home Depot and bought. You made them.
We wire everything together. Yeah, these pipes are all bent. I finally figured out where to buy translucent pipe, large enough, and I built a frame to hold it and put the lights inside of it. That's an aluminum frame, and for that lights. The big poles are aluminum poles. I used to use steel. Now I've gone to aluminum because it's lighter weight, much easier for me to put up and take down. But believe it or not, the Katy Tiger is made out of hardy board. That thing weighs about 50 pounds with the frame and everything around it. And just to drill the holes for the lights through the hardy board back then was really hard to do when I've had that. But that's been around for a good while, about 2006.
How about the nutcrackers? Because you also built those.
Yes, the nutcrackers are about 350 pounds each. Those were built from scratch. The head was a foam block, and I had to shape that. The nose was formed. The sword is again styrofoam. My wife came up with the details and did all the painting. My daughter painted the faces. The actual material is a bathtub liner. That's a liner that's flexible, not around on a wooden frame. We've got valves that do the different spacing and the different depths. This is PVC pipe. So basically that's what that is. The rod goes through there. And again, we use that same material to make that. So we have electronics I have inside of them, but they have lights on the top.
So you start putting this together, like assembling right after Halloween?
Day after Halloween is the official day that we start putting things out. We let the kids have a free rein to run without falling over or anything. So rule is after Halloween.
Because I imagine you're not mowing your yard after you get this all set up.
Right, we blow a lot of leaves, but we don't cut anything.
So how much money would you estimate?
I don't want to talk about.
Okay.
I talk about hours. I tell you that it's insurmountable number of hours. This year we painted all of the candy canes. We did all that. Zip ties. Every year I've got to buy bags of several hundred zip ties. I go through probably 2,000 to 3,000 zip ties every year, and just to put the zip ties down. Of course, at the end of the day, I got to cut them all, take them all off too.
So putting it up, I think you told me you get a cherry picker for 3 days.
Yeah, I get a 60-foot boom cherry picker that I can do because it's not safe for me to get on a ladder that high.
I can see why DJ would not approve. Yeah,
32 feet up there to carry everything. The gingerbread trim is made out of coral board now. When we started, it was made out of plywood, and it was really hard to carry up, and it didn't weather as well. Coroplast is great, but that's all hand cut, hand painted, hot glued decorations on. Even the little gingerbread people we hand painted those.
I love asking you about that because you can tell it's such a passion. Like, you can tell you love this.
We love the details.
When you start to see, I mean, we're noticing cars starting to drive by now. When you start seeing those first cars come by every season, is that what makes you keep going?
We do get a lot of satisfaction in seeing friends and neighbors come by, especially when they come back with their families. The second generation comes. I mean, their kids came, now their kids are coming, the grandkids. So, you know, it's a very much a family tradition for a lot of folks to come out here every year, and they've got it down to a calendar. They know from previous traffic, you know, when they really want to come. But even, you know, Christmas Eve, it's a lot of people come out on Christmas Eve still. And we run through New Year's Day. We run it through, so people coming in from out of town still have an opportunity to see it.
I love that. I had my family came in after Christmas one year, and they're like, take us to the Christmas lights, and you never know who's still going to have them on after Christmas. What hours? When can people see the display?
Monday through Sunday through Thursday, we're from 5:30 to 9 o'clock, and then we go till 10 o'clock on Friday and Saturday.
And people can double check that. You have a website, Christmas Katy?
We have a website, and if it's super bad rain, unfortunately like Thanksgiving night was, it was super bad rain, we do have a weather clause that we won't run if it's pouring down rain. It's kind of hard to look out your window and see the lights anyways when it's raining really hard. But
well, that brings up something else. So, you know, even though we're in December, it still gets stormy, it's still warm. The wear and tear that all of this has to endure every season, what kind of repairs do you have to do? Do you do them before you pack everything up or when you're pulling everything out? Or
when
both?
it comes time to take it down, pretty much I want to box it up and take it to the shed. Now, I'll start bringing everything out of the shed in August. And
Wow.
bring it home, and then we have to go through all the lights and check everything. And so, yeah, it's a big light check in August and September. Organization, because there's a certain order that everything has to go up, and if you notice that even those light connections are all off the ground. So we have a lot of wires on the ground. There are no connections on the ground. We've learned over time not to have any connections where they can stand in water. But it's still, like I say, there's quite a few connections.
I just, as someone who occasionally hangs up a string of lights, I'm absolutely in awe of something like this because of the dedication and because of the sheer organization. When you're talking about 24 control boxes, 70,000 lights, literal miles of cord. I'm not sure my brain could handle all of that.
And all these posts are actually in concrete. So over the years, we've learned, you know, if you want to do it the same way, well, I've got concrete footings down there, and this PVC pipe can screw down to a fitting in that concrete. It all gets numbered, and we go through a lot of blue tape when we take it down, because everything has to be labeled where its home is, so we can find it when we got to go put it back together, and especially when you're storing it, because there's 3 different, like I say, circles here. We have a tree inside of a tree. A lot of people don't realize that tree actually is inset, so part of it goes through, which makes it really fun to put up.
I bet. So the items don't move, but you do change the playlist every year. What
Yes.
are some additions you've made?
I guess Frozen is the most recent song that we did, and then prior to that we did a tribute to Kenny Rogers when he died. He had a song with Dolly Parton, and those are the last 2 songs that we've added.
Which sounds so simple, right? You're programming, let it go. But for every minute, what kind of effort goes into that?
For every minute, there's about 12 hours of time spent programming. There's 8,600 lines of actual programming. There's 35 different tracks, soundtracks. I have to break that sound out because every element gets a track. The 15 trees, they're on one track. The Marty fan's on a track. All the mega trees are on a track, and it depends if they're a mega tree with 12 or 8. Would be 12 times 4, 48. Red, white, green, and blue. So whatever the number is times 4. So all that gets done separately, and then you get now with the pixels, it gets really intense because every bulb gets 3 channels. So it has a red, a blue, and a green element, and you have to tell what percentage of power in order to formulate the color. So if it's white, it's 100% all three. But if it's red, well, it's just red. If it's green, it's green. But then you have yellows and chartreuse and every other. I mean, you can make any color you want.
I think my brain has the capacity to maybe do one of these. That's it. Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask, was there anything else you wanted folks to know about Christmas Katy?
We're free. It's family oriented. We ask everybody be patient because it can get pretty crowded. If you come early, you can park for a while, but when we get a line down the street, we'll have to kick in we call drive-by mode, so everybody has an opportunity to be fair, for everybody to see it. We let people park over on the side of the house here, and they can come out and take pictures and stay as long as they want, as long as they can find a place to park. But yeah, just be a good neighbor, be a good friend, have a good time.
Good rule of thumb. JD, thank you so much for having us.
We are live in the Heights. Now, if you weren't out here last Saturday, you missed Lights in the Heights. It's this huge community gathering, thousands of people checking out all of the decorated homes throughout the Heights. And there are many, but pick of the night belonged to Marcy.
So great.
How would you describe this year's decorations?
They're much brighter this year. I added a little bit of stuff this year, but I think it's very classic, very traditional. We like all the single color. I do love the multicolor, but for my house, I like the single color, and I don't know, I just think it looks really pretty.
So how do you start planning for this? When does that thought process get going every year?
I usually try to add something every year, so this will be our 8th year to do it. So the first year it was just very minimal. We just did the trees and the house, and then I start thinking in the summer, okay, what am I going to add? I'm going to add the fence line, so we did the fence, and I'm going to add the porch, and it's just grown. It's kind of, I don't know what I'm going to do next year. We'll have to see.
We will have to see. So I don't know if you can see it particularly well, but the snow globe lantern is just so cool. It's one of the first things I noticed, and that's a brand new ad this year.
Yeah, I added it last year at the end of the season. I was kind of combing through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I found this really cool snow globe. It's got a little truck inside. It's carrying a little Christmas tree. It looks like a little house, and it's just so cute. And I'm like, I have to get that.
Okay, Marcy, I'm coming back to you because I want to talk about Halloween in a sec, but I want to talk to the co-chairs of Lights in the Heights. What is this event? Like, how would you describe it to someone who's never heard of Lights in the Heights before?
Probably just a giant block party, I think. A very organized giant block party. It's 16 blocks by 2 blocks wide, or by 2 streets wide, and HPD is so generously helps us out every year and keeps the community safe, and that's basically how I would describe it. I think just everybody's out here having a good time. It's family oriented. It's all ages. So yeah.
How long has this been going on?
It's been going on 35 years now.
35 years. You think about what the Heights was like 35 years ago, how much it's changed and grown. How did it get started?
They started 1987. They started. It was just a simple block get together where people put luminarias along the route, and everybody opened their doors, and people would just circulate and spread the holiday cheer. So, and then I guess word spread, and it got a little bit bigger, and then it got a little bit bigger, and this is sort of the modern day version of it. So, yeah.
It really is incredible to see. I mean, almost every home lit up. How do you get a community this size kind of on board with a project this big?
I think it's hard to reject. I mean, it's just happiness and community and being together. There's not a lot to not like about it.
Christmas lights make everybody happy.
I'll say that again.
Right, Christmas lights make everybody happy. I mean, back during COVID, I can remember being contacted by the light company and saying, hey, we'll give you a discount if you'll just put your lights up now. We need some joy. We need to spread a little joy throughout the neighborhood. So if you'll put your lights up, we'll come do it. So we put our lights up in summer.
Well, one of the great things about this too is the event is Saturday, but these lights are up for weeks. So visitors can come and check them out for weeks to come.
Yeah, we have we just every night, starting about the first week of December, we have a steady stream of people around the Esplanade, and you have Pennebaker's amazing Christmas light dinosaurs, and and that makes it feel really, really community oriented. That people travel from all over to come see our neighborhood and all the effort that we put into our holiday contribution to the city.
I do want to mention, you guys aren't seeing Ward Pennebaker's dinos right now. We gave you a little preview at 4. You'll see them at 10. But he builds these amazing dinosaurs out of lights and is working on an even bigger one for next year. So there's always something to look forward to the next year.
Yeah, that's true. And as the neighborhood has evolved, we have a lot more younger children now. So it's nice because once those dinosaurs go up, all the children flock to the Esplanade, and it's just, you can hear the chatter and the laughing and all that stuff starting the first week in December. So it sort of gets our mild climate holiday season jump started. Because the weather sometimes doesn't always do that. So.
Well, talking about kids, I want to come back to you, Marcy.
Okay.
I know we're surrounded by Christmas lights right now, right, but you don't just go big for Christmas.
No.
Halloween is a big deal too.
I'm an October baby. So my
Same.
birthday was always a big deal. It's at the end of the month, so it was always a costume party. It was always a big decoration thing. My mom did ceramics, so she painted all that stuff that you would set out everywhere. And so I've always carried that through with my kids. So we decorate out the wazoo for Halloween. But now that we live here on Bayland, it's a really long street with sidewalks on both sides. It's very well lit. So we get between 1,200 and 1,500 trick-or-treaters every year. And so we have a big party on Halloween evening, and it's a theme. So it can be Game of Thrones. One year it was Harry Potter, it was 80s prom, it was Nightmare Before Christmas was the best one. My whole house on this side was all Christmas. My Christmas tree was up at Halloween, and the other side was scary Halloween stuff. And everybody dresses up. The kids love to come and get their picture made. My husband was Jack Skellington, and so he stood out there for 4 hours and got his picture made with all the kids. They love it. Halloween is by far, next to Lights in the Heights, it's probably the best time here.
Is that what makes you want to do it
Oh my
year
gosh,
after
yes.
year?
When we first moved on Bayland, our realtor said, you know, this is a normal route for Lights in the Heights. I'm like, yes, it is. And he said, and wait till you see Halloween. And I was like, I moved to the right street. I moved to the right street. It's me.
Well, Karen and Ashley, I wanted to ask, was there anything else that you guys wanted to mention about Lights in the Heights that you want folks to know?
Just that, you know, the whole thing is put on by volunteers. We all do it out of the love of, you know, the love in our hearts and the love for community and stuff like that. So we love the residents and how respectful everybody is of our streets. We've never really had a huge incident or even a small incident. So thanks.
The musical people are all volunteers.
Yes.
Right? And so like our band Backbeat has been a volunteer, and they're fantastic. And then there was something else that was, I don't remember what I was going to say about the bands is kind of the most important thing, because not only is the committee all a group of people that are volunteers, but all the musicians that come, whether they're a choir from a church or an ensemble that has, you know, violins and trumpets or whatever, or the band that we had, they don't get paid. It's all volunteer.
I think that's so important to mention, because as a community member who's been twice now since I moved to Houston, it's a free event that is fun for the whole family. Like on Saturday, you saw itty bitty babies in wagons and carts, all the way up to grown-ups and grandparents, just enjoying it and soaking it all in and getting in the holiday spirit. I think that's so important. So thank you guys for all the work you guys do as volunteers. Marcy, thank you for spreading the holiday
thanks
spirit.
For having us.
Hey guys, I'm Brandy Smith, live in El Lago at the Phillips family Christmas lights. This is a display like you have never seen before. We've got lasers, we've got smoke machines, pyrotechnics, a snow machine, and of course, all the lights you can imagine. I want to bring Terry and Lucas in here. What could compel you to do this every year?
You know, it's my family. It's about having an opportunity to spend time working with my family, to be able to provide that joy, and it's our way of giving service, you know, to community and lighting the world.
When you find out about the plans every year, what is your first thought?
It's awesome. I'm so stoked to do it every year because every year is something new and big that I get to help and enjoy because I love doing it. I've done it since the very beginning and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
What's your favorite part this year?
My favorite part?
Yeah.
Have to be the new Matrix that we put up.
What is that for a normal person who doesn't know anything about lights?
So it's basically just a bunch of lights that makes like a TV screen.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's probably my new favorite part because we basically doubled it since last year.
I don't even know how to ask this next question, but how do you plan for something like this? Like, when does that process start? When do you start pulling everything out physically? How long does it take to get up? Like, what does an effort like this look like?
Usually in the summer we start thinking about ideas. My wife and I will talk about it. This year we went to a Christmas light convention in Biloxi. We got ideas, we kind of think about it, and then by August we're starting to build stuff. We've got to plan out what we're going to add, how we're going to build, you know, the facade and the new extensions to the house.
Someone wants up. You can go ahead and pull them up. So the build starts in August.
Yeah, about August, and then we worked on that mostly in the house and stuff because we can't start setting up till after Halloween. So we get it all ready, and then by Halloween, get that night done, and we start laying stuff out on the lawn and getting it all set up.
Now, one of the things you talked about, and we've heard this from multiple homes, is that the weather this year really hampered things.
Yeah, we'd spent 3 weeks getting ready for our opening night, and the 3 nights before we were supposed to go, we had that big storm and ended up destroying a lot of what we had done. We'd lost, you know, many hours of work. But fortunately, the Saturday before we turned it on, we had a huge group of people show up to help us recover. We were able to get back, and we were on time, and we had a wonderful opening night.
Even it's almost Christmas.
It is almost Christmas. What do you want folks to know about this display if they haven't seen it in person yet?
Well, that you definitely should come check it out because it's a ton of fun. Even if it's not a night like this where we have all the snacks and stuff, you can still just come in your car and chill and watch it. It's a lot of fun.
You talked about the community here. I'm gonna pop across the street. Scott, let's go. We've got a whole horde of neighbors over here gathered to watch the display. And I'm told this is a pretty common occurrence. If you look on the Phillips Family Christmas Lights Facebook page, you will see that on opening night, this place was packed with people. Say hi, folks. Hi. Okay, who wants to talk about the Phillips Family Christmas Lights? Oh, okay, here we go. So your dad does this every year. What do you think every year when he makes, you know, the final unveil?
So a lot of the times I don't live here, so I don't know all the surprises that they have. And every year I just think he's so talented because he does a lot of the formatting himself. And I think he's a crazy person because who loves Christmas lights this much? But they do, and they do it every year for the community, and they always get such a big response to it every year.
Yeah, it is incredible to see all of you folks here showing your support and, of course, checking out the lights. What we just missed a minute ago, the pyrotechnics. The first time I saw those go off, we were all sort of stunned, not sure if it was intentional or not, but it very much is. It very much is. Those are only normally on the weekends. As a heads up, if you decide to cruise by here in the next couple of weeks, so. Just so you know, the fire doesn't go all of the time. Anybody else over here? Oh, here, we're gonna pop back here. Scott, you can stay there. Come back here, we got a puppy dog too. Yes. Oh, what's your name?
Ava.
Ava, how long have you been coming out for the lights?
Like 4 or 5 years since we've moved here, because we're originally from Tennessee, and so we've been helping them. We've strung all the lights a lot of the time. We've done like the arches that you see, and we just love to come out and help them over Thanksgiving.
I think that's so neat because it does add another layer for neighbors and others in the community. It's not just a lights display, like you guys have been a big part of it.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely a huge like family friend effort.
Aw. I also have to ask who this is.
So we're dog sitting right now. This is my coach's dog. His name is Bark.
He's so cute.
Yeah, we've had him for the day, so.
He's got a pretty good assignment right now. All right, I saw another hand. Where did I see that other hand earlier? Yeah? You look a little nervous now. What do you think of the lights?
It's cool because every year that when we go, it's like a show.
This is like a Disney production. You've got everything: smoke, snow, lights, fire. Yeah. Do you have a favorite part this year?
Yes, whenever we came here last time, like the Grinch.
Was that on opening night?
Yes.
I also need to mention that this is an event that has an opening night. This isn't like just a yard display. There is an opening night. I think he said, actually, you guys would know, the Sunday after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
So if you can't make it here this year, you can find out what it's going to look like next year, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I'm trying to think, did you want to add anything, Terry?
We just love that we get so many people to come out and support us, and we just really love doing this for everyone. And we just want to thank you all for letting us be crazy and showing off my husband's talent on Christmas lights. So thank you.
It is, I mean, what do you think when you look over here and see your neighbors and your friends and the community here to support you guys?
It just really warms my heart. On opening night, almost every year I cry just from the turnout that we have. It's just really, it just makes us feel really special and loved. And I love that all these people came out on such short notice. We just let everybody know yesterday, and it's just really amazing that everybody came out to support my husband and our light show.
Yes, thank you guys for your support. I also want to mention they're the grandbaby. Tucked in there, so precious, so little, so tiny, already looped in to the Christmas display. Right. I'm gonna pop over to Terry, other Terry. It's worth noting, Terry and his wife share the name, Terry. Makes it easy for me to remember the names. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention that you want folks to know about this display?
You know, it's for everybody. We do it to get people to, enjoy Christmas, to share their own light. I think that's the most important thing. No matter what your light display is, share it. Light the world, make it a better place, and that's why we do this.
I love that you say that. This will be the last thing that I mentioned. You said you like going to anyone's display because every display is different. They all have different personalities and focuses.
Yeah, absolutely. I always find something. It doesn't matter how small. My kid's like, well, why would you want to look? Because they're all special. Someone put effort into it, and I love that. And I love seeing the lights. No matter how little or big it is, it's fantastic.
Our last stop for Living in the Lone Star Holiday Homes brings us to Kelly McArdle's home, which is outfitted with, yes, lights, but I think the real showstopper here is all of the inflatables. How many do you have?
Over 30, about 31.
How do you even pick? Or at this point, is it just kind of whatever's on sale?
Whatever's on sale, and eBay. eBay is your friend. eBay and Amazon, tell you the truth. I discovered a lot on Amazon this year too, so yeah, eBay and Amazon.
What motivates you to put all these up every year?
I used to just like the lights, but I used to look more like that house, but I started getting a little bit more serious when I found out my son was autistic and he liked the lights. It would bring him out of his shell. And so every year we add more, and you know, it's been fun to watch.
All of this is so high tech too. I've watched you, one, walk out the front door and say, Alexa, turn on the holiday lights. All of a sudden, all 30 of these inflatables start going up. Tell me about the tech involved in this.
Amazon.
Jeff Bezos says thank you.
Yeah. So I have smart plugs hooked up to everything. Just got to keep them in the front yard, keep them where they're not on away from the Wi-Fi signal. And I mean, it's actually pretty easy to do, to hook everything up to have it come on and be voice command.
How many days or weeks did it take before you realized if Connor knew the code word, these things would be on all night?
It was one night in last year, and he figured it out, and then we thought lightning was going off outside, and it was just him turning the lights on and off at 2 o'clock in the morning.
So now you have to make sure he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, is he out here?
Yeah.
I don't think he's out here, so I think we're safe right now.
Mm-hmm.
This whole neighborhood has a whole lot of spirit. I want to bring in someone else who has a whole lot of inflatables at his house. Daniel, come on over. Maddie, we're talking to you next. There's an aspiring reporter here, Kelly's daughter, Maddie. We're gonna talk to her in a minute. Daniel, come on over. So you have a lot of inflatables at your house. Why do you set them up every year?
Because it's fun.
Do you have a favorite?
My favorite one is pretty much Sleeping Santa.
Sleeping Santa. I heard that you set them all up yourself, all 28 or 29 of them?
I set up all of them except Sleeping Santa because he's really hard to carry. We have to do, me and my dad to carry him.
How long does that take you to put those all up?
About 2 hours.
Mom, Dad, do you want to come over? Mom's got her phone out. When did you guys get started helping Daniel with the inflatables?
Well, he basically, this year was his first year by himself, but you know, we've done it every year that he was at least 5 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would set him up, and he would turn them on and off, turn them on and off, and the motors would burn out. I replace them.
I did half of the motors that burned out.
Yeah.
Except
that's what I heard. A few of them have to be replaced this year because you like to see them go up and down.
Well, a lot of them.
I keep inventory of every size motor, at least 3 or 4.
And also we have to retire a lot.
And now we're going to be retiring a number of them this year, but we will replace with something new, different lights theme, you know, that type stuff. He's getting older now, so I will just sit with my chair and do this, do that, you know.
Supervising duties.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
I'm management. He's labor.
There you go. Daniel, but I hear even though you have a lot of inflatables in your yard, you like to come over to Kelly's house to see these ones too.
Obviously.
Do you have a favorite here?
You like Minion, don't you?
Minion, Mr. Grinch. That's all.
All right, Daniel's done. That has to be so cool to hear from neighborhood kids that they get a lot of joy from this as well.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's one of the reasons that I keep it open where people can walk up the driveway and walk through it. It's because it's one thing to see it from the outside, but to be able to walk into it and experience it, you know, especially if you're like my kid and be on the spectrum, that to be able to have it surround you and swallow you up almost, you know, that's the effect I'm going for.
It is really cool, and all of the kids have been running all night through these little tunnels around.
Don't grab the strings.
But breakdown starts tonight.
Yeah, usually the inflatables come down right after Christmas, and then it's just lights for the 12 days of Christmas, but we knew you guys were coming, so we left the inflatables up for a few days.
We appreciate that. I'm sure Connor does too, and the rest of the neighborhood.
I really appreciated it.
Okay, Maddie, where'd you go? Okay, let's bring in Maddie. Maddie is in 3rd grade. She told me last year in 2nd grade she did announcements for her school. So she was basically a news reporter. So I'm going to ask you some questions, if that's okay. Okay, do you have a favorite in your yard?
Yeah, it's the angel.
The angel right there in the middle. She's beautiful. How much help do you give your dad when he's setting all this up?
A bunch.
I'm checking with Dad for confirmation.
Negative.
Oh, called out. All right, me.
If sitting with your tablet and under a blanket counts as help, yeah.
Hey, you know what? We've got management over here. This is encouragement. Yeah. She's the marketing department over here, boosting morale. All right. Did anyone else want to say anything before we wrap things up? Okay. Then I'm going to have Maddie come over here and close us out. Okay, have you been practicing? Do you want to do it, or do you want me to?
Live in Spring Creek Forest, this is Maddie, and this is KHOU 11.
Now you know where to head to check out some amazing holiday displays next year. And maybe got a little inspiration? We plan to do this all again next year. So listen up around Thanksgiving when we start asking for submissions. Or you can always email me. It is super easy. B as in Brandy Smith at khou.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.